I still remember the sound of his laugh before I remember his face. It was sharp, quick, the kind of laugh people make when they've already decided you're not worth taking seriously. I had just said I need to withdraw $1 million, and the guy behind the counter didn't even try to hide it. He leaned back in his chair, smirked, and said, "Buddy, this isn't a movie. Are you sure you didn't mean 1,000? Yeah." That happened. And for a second, standing there in my work boots, dust still on my jeans, I felt that old familiar feeling creep up again. That feeling of being small, of being judged before I ever opened my mouth. My name doesn't matter much, but what does matter is where I came from. I grew up in a place people fly over and forget. Flatland, hard soil. Early mornings hands that crack in winter and never really heal. I spent most of my life being invisible, the guy people nod at politely but never really see. I wasn't dumb, I wasn't lazy, but I didn't look like money, and in America that's often all that counts. So when I walked into that downtown bank in my worn jacket and asked for $1 million, I knew what they were thinking. You know what I mean? The man behind the counter, let's call him Eric, finally typed in my account details, still half smiling like he was humoring a child. Then his fingers froze. His eyes narrowed. He leaned closer to the screen. Refreshed, it checked my ID again. The color drained from his face so fast I almost felt bad for him. Almost. "Sir," he said quietly, "now, could you wait just a moment?" That was the moment everything flipped. You see, the money was real. All of it. Years back, a resource company discovered something valuable under land my family had owned for generations. Everyone else sold early. I waited. I listened. When I finally signed the number on the check, didn't even feel real to me. I didn't change my life much after that. Same house, same clothes, same habits. Because money doesn't change who you are unless you let it. Eric came back a different man. Straighter posture, careful voice. Respect served cold and a little too late. He asked where the money came from, what I needed it for, questions he never would have asked before. I told him just enough. I needed the money, and I needed it fast. He said it would take time to prepare that much cash, asked me to come back the next day. What he didn't know, what nobody in that bank knew, was why I needed it. My daughter was dying. Cancer has a way of stripping life down to what really matters. Bills don't wait. Pride doesn't help. And the treatments, the good ones, the ones that actually give you hope, they cost more than most people will earn in a lifetime. I would have sold everything I owned without hesitation, and honestly, I was prepared to do just that. The next day when I came back, Eric was nervous. Not about the money. About me. He'd been digging, asking questions, letting his curiosity run ahead of his professionalism. Somewhere along the way, he made a connection that should have stayed buried. He asked about my daughter, used her name, and the way he said it told me this wasn't random. That's when the past came knocking. Years earlier, my daughter had fallen in love with a man who promised her everything and disappeared the moment responsibility showed up. That man was Eric, the same guy who laughed at me, the same guy now offering coffee and calling me sir. Life has a twisted sense of humor sometimes. When he realized who I was, the guilt hit him like a truck. He tried to help. At first, I didn't trust it. Neither did my daughter. She had built her life without him, raised her kids on sheer willpower, and she wasn't about to let him buy his way back in. I'd rather lose, she said, than owe him anything. And God help me, I admired that strength. But strength doesn't pay hospital bills. Eventually, the truth cornered us. The money I had wouldn't be enough. The treatments kept coming, the costs kept climbing, and time wasn't slowing down out of respect for our principles. Eric offered to pay. No strings, he said. Just help. We agreed, but with rules. Strict ones. He pays, he stays away. No visits, no gifts, no trying to be a hero. Just money. For a while he followed them, then he didn't. He started small, slipping into the kids' lives where defenses were weaker. Rides, presents, promises. My grandson, the oldest, saw right through it. He confronted Eric in a way that still gives me chills. "You don't get to show up now and pretend you're saving us," he said. "We already survived without you." That should have been the end of it. For a lot of men it would have been. But something unexpected happened. Eric didn't push back. He didn't threaten or throw money around. He listened. And then he changed. Not all at once, not perfectly, but genuinely. He stopped trying to lead and started asking permission. He showed up when no one was watching, when the drama faded, when there was nothing to gain. That's when I started believing it might be real. My daughter watched him like a hawk. Forgiveness didn't come easily, and it didn't come fully, but she let him exist in our orbit. The kids relaxed. My grandson stopped carrying the whole world on his shoulders. And when the doctors finally said the words we'd been praying for remission, Eric was there. Not front and center, just there. He stayed after the crisis ended. That's the part people don't expect. Life didn't turn into a fairy tale. It turned into something better, something honest. School meetings, awkward holidays, slow trust, earned respect. When my grandson graduated, Eric clapped like he'd waited his whole life for that moment. And when my grandson finally called him Dad, not loudly, not for show, just quietly, I knew something real had happened. Here's what I learned through all of it. People will judge you in seconds based on how you look, where you're from, what you wear. They'll laugh at you before they know your story. And sometimes the people who hurt you the most are also the ones who have to face what they've done. Not with punishment, but with accountability. So tell me this. If you were in my place, would you have accepted the help? Would you have trusted change or walked away on principle alone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Argue about it. Share your own story. Because stories like this aren't just about money or revenge. They're about whether people can really change and whether we're brave enough to let them try.